Oh, yes, he's the next winner of the Ballon d'Or, Rami Al Hajj at Plymouth with his first goal. And today on Where Pilgrims Walk, we are talking all about who is Rami Al Hajj. Not only do we have 3 Plymouth fans to discuss the Luton game, but we've also got fans of his previous club with us as well. This is going to be a bumper edition of Where Pilgrims Walk. You're very welcome, and I'm quite excited for you to be along with us. This is the fastest and quickest 20 minutes of Plymouth chat you'll find on the internet. Welcome. Ah, yes, Home Park was rocking after the Luton game, and to sing along with some of those hymn sheets and talk about that game, we've got Connor and Carl back with us, and welcome for the first time, Chris. We'll get to all of you 3 in a second, but our special guest this week is Albert. Good evening, Albert. How are you?
Good evening, Mark. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. And of course, your team of choice is Heerenveen, which of course Rami Al Hajj started his career at. So we are going to come to you first, if that's okay, and ask a very simple question. What sort of player have Plymouth got on their hands?
Well, Rami Al Hajj is a really technical player. He came to join Heerenveen and on his 17 years old. So he started in the youth, but he's a technical player with a great view on the play and very exciting to see. I think you will embrace him very soon from the stands there.
Connor, you've watched him now for a couple of games. Does he? I mean, he seems to give the ball away a little bit, but does he look like there's going to be a player and a half for you?
He's absolutely mustard, isn't he? Just every time you get on the ball, you feel he's going to do something with it, drive us up, and skill a player while doing it. And he just looks phenomenal when he's doing those little bits. And it's a player we've missed really recently. That technical ability to go round players or just take the absolute mick while you're doing it as well.
Yeah. Albert, he wasn't known for his goal contributions. I think 1 in 67 appearances. So he's not been bought for his, well, he's certainly not been bought on his goal statistics, but what does he give a whole round team in terms of his performance?
Well, he was always embraced about his skills on the training for us. He was really young. He came from Sweden, and it was his first time on his own in another country, so it was difficult for him to land. And but they always say that the fellow players of him, he said, okay, Rami is really good in small games on the training, 4 against 4. He was the number 1. But then in the games, it was a little bit, maybe it was the pressure, maybe it was his age, maybe he didn't get the right choices on the right moments. So that was difficult to really make the difference in the games. But in the training, again, they said every time, okay, he's a great player. He's one of the best in the training. But that step to make it during the games, it was difficult for him.
Carl, you've watched him yourself as well. What is he missing anything from his game? I mean, I've mentioned some of the misplaced passes. That will come with time, won't it?
Yeah, as he settles, he'll get more comfortable on the ball. I mean, I just got glimpses of Zaz all night when he was playing. I thought he was a Zaz. It was that similar. I just thought it was the missing piece of the jigsaw.
Mm-hmm. Chris, anything to add to this debate in terms? Do you think you've got a quality gem on your hand here?
Oh, we've got a great player there. As Carl said, we've been missing that attacking central midfielder since January, since we lost Finnazaz to Middlesbrough. And as soon as he came on against Sunderland, his first touch of the ball was a classic pass, attacking, and then he nearly scored with his second touch. And then when he came, and that was his first start, he played on Friday against Luton. He's been a substitute each for 2 other games, West Brom, and he came on and he looked really class right from the start. Scored after whatever it was, 8 minutes or so, a really classic goal, and then just went on and produced a great game.
Okay. All right, thank you for that. Albert, how's Robin van Persie doing for you?
Well, he enjoys an attractive style of play, and I think it's the same style of play that Rami Al Hajj is doing very well in. So unluckily for him, we had a really defensive coach the last 2 years. So, but now we have high peaks and also the other side around. That it will be an exciting season with a lot of attacking football.
Okay. Well, listen here, Plymouth Argyle directors, sign it up. We want a friendly next year. We want Hereford against Plymouth. And Albert, we will hopefully chat again to you as the season goes on. Thank you so much for joining us and giving us a little bit of insight into this amazing new find that the Argyle have got. Thanks very much, Albert. We will let you disappear, and good luck for the rest of the season.
Thanks to the same, and I hope to see you next year in a friendly. Would be nice.
Brilliant. Thanks, Albert. Okay.
Cheers, Albert.
Right. It's Blackburn then this weekend. Wayne Rooney goes up against John Eustace, the man he replaced at Birmingham only about this time last year. Let's bring in our Blackburn fan and get a view. Connor, your fixtures haven't been very kind to you at the moment. You've got obviously Sunderland. You've been, of course, to these teams in form. Here's another one. Undefeated Blackburn at home. Haven't conceded in 3. Would you take a draw now, Connor?
100%. Take the 1 point and be gone with it. But it's, we've seen in the past 3 games, we've really grinded out against Sunderland, better opposition than Blackburn probably, no offence. And then same with West Brom. They're 2 teams where they were at the time when we played them for good reason. But West Brom, they just had that upper hand. They did their extra part and proved why they're top of that league. And Luton, you should have expected better from them. But we really know how to turn up at the moment. We're really applying that pressure. I think that the Wayne Rooney style of play is kicked in.
Okay. Mark, how do they go about beating you? Where are the weaknesses in this Rovers side?
I don't want to jinx it, but I'm struggling to find any weaknesses with Rovers at the minute. We just seem to be getting stronger and stronger, and 3 clean sheets. So where we've always probably said, our weakness is probably conceding goals and defensively. When Danny Bath has now come into the central defence alongside Hyan. And we're looking solid as well, like 3 clean sheets in a row. So, I don't know at the minute. I keep thinking our luck's going to run out at some point, but I want to try and get to that next international break with that unbeaten record intact, really.
Okay. Little quiz for you at home. We've got 3 players that have played for both Blackburn and Plymouth. PG, BHCS. See if you can pop them into the chat, and we'll give you the answers to that at the end. Players that have played for both Plymouth and Blackburn. Chris, your record at Ewood Park isn't great. You haven't won there since the late 80s, I believe. Do you give yourself any hope for 3 points this weekend?
Well, I'm hoping so. I've got fond memories of when we went up there 3-0 up. 2-0 up, and we lost 5-2 back when we won the league. Back in 75, I think it was. But I was up there last season, and if I'm honest, I thought they were well beatable. I thought they were a struggling side last season. Then all of a sudden, they appear to be the surprise package for me. And when you consider they've just lost Sammy Smodix, I'm thinking they were going to struggle. I expected them to be down in amongst it, but they're not. They're opposite. So losing their best player and then suddenly performing like they are isn't too bad for them.
I saw. Yeah,
they are beatable though.
Okay. I saw a cheeky tweet from someone. I think it was a Plymouth fan this week saying Blackburn versus Plymouth is a preview of the playoff final this year. I wouldn't go that far, but you can see that they see their intentions. Jaden, welcome to the chat. Who's the star player for Plymouth at the moment? Who's undroppable against Rovers?
Well, you'd say Sissoko, but he got dropped in the last game, which is a bit weird. But I'd say obviously Edwards, but Sissoko I think has to come back into the team against Blackburn.
And Mark, for you, the danger men for Rovers currently are.
We've had Ohashi, who's been in fine form. I think the one player to actually look out for, which because I do think he'll end up starting the game at the weekend, is Todd Cantwell. He came off the bench at the weekend, and he looked a different class. And I really think we've made some really good business there. So I fully expect him to be in the starting 11 after Saturday.
And of course, two ex Birmingham managers going at it here, Mark. But I think it's fair to say that both Blackburn and Plymouth are reaping the rewards of Birmingham's misuse of both Eustace and Rooney, aren't they?
Oh, definitely, yeah. I mean, we certainly are. I mean, Eustace has said he came in, like I said, at the end of last season, well, February time, and he had a job to keep us in the league. And said we were struggling. We couldn't buy a win. But the way he's transformed us, and it's the whole mentality around Rovers has now changed. So yeah, I mean, I go back to saying, I think Birmingham were in the top 6 around this time last year when they parted company with him, and we're in the top 6 now. So I don't think it's any fluke.
All right, Mark. We will let you go. Thank you so much. Good luck.
No problem.
Good luck this Saturday. I mean that they don't. But we'll see you. We'll see you with the reverse fixture later on in the year. And for you guys, let's take a look at that Luton game. Fred Lloyd Daniels says, what I find most impressive about Randall is that every season since he first started playing under regular professional football, he's improved. From the national lead with Torquay to the championship with Argyle, he finds a new level each and every season. There was high praise, amongst others, for Randall. Connor, what's impressed you about Mr. Randall this season?
Oh, it's his absolute resilience. He's all over that pitch. He's almost the link between the defence and the attack as well. He's taken it. He can do the spins, and if he put that shot late on in the game, top bin, that would have been absolutely phenomenal. But he's not afraid. He's absolutely terrified. He's not terrified of anything, and he'll go into any challenge as well. And he'll put his heart on the line. He's a local boy, born and bred. So he's going to be like that.
I mean, I watched the game obviously because it was on Sky, so I had the pleasure of watching that. I mean, Home Park, I don't know if it comes through in the stadium, but certainly it's one of those grounds that acoustically comes so well across on TV when you're all at it. It sounds like you want to be there, even as a neutral. Carl, what other than the result, what pleased you the most about that performance?
Just the determination. I've never seen Morgan run his socks off so much. So I think Rooney's got into him about that, which is good. But the whole team performance was just extraordinary. I was just over the moon that every player put a shift in. And Gibson is absolutely the best defender we've had in a long time. The amount of blocks he's made and everything was ridiculous. But here's the next problem with us. We've got to keep hold of him.
Yeah, the video of those 2 tackles has gone viral, isn't it? It's stunning. Chris, for you, you've no disrespect, but you've seen a lot in your time at Home Park. How does this season, this feel good vibe compare to what you've seen in the past?
Oh, I've got to be honest with you, we were up amongst it with Shuey. When we were getting the Division 1 title, we're not going to get up or anything this season, that's for sure. But it's got that vibe about it. We started off how we mean to carry on, and we got to start making Home Park a fortress again. And that's what we've just done in the last 2 games. Who would have thought we would have got 3 goals against Sunderland, 3 against Luton? Stunning display. And even the defeat against West Brom the week before, we played well.
Yeah. There's lots of West Brom fans we talked to in here saying you're still the best team they've played all season. And they've played Leeds as well, don't forget. All right, let's look at some more. Jaden Malcolm says contract needs extending ASAP, or else it's going to be another one going for peanuts. And absolutely immense Gibbo. That's of course a reference to Gibson. There's a danger, isn't it, in January that all these players that we rave about each week could be going for peanuts.
But it can't be any coincidence. Sorry, Jaden. Can't be any coincidence. Gibson, was linked with Luton in the summer, and he went and had a man of the match display against Luton,
Against them.
deservedly so.
Yeah.
You know,
Jaden?
Yeah, he's like one of those players that just goes under the radar, and he's just there, but he just does the job every game. And obviously a local lad, which just adds to it even more. Just a very special player, but one you don't really notice as much as you should, because the job he's doing is fantastic.
Okay. All right. You know I have to try and find a negative one, so I did. Connor, Vince Rennie says, if we can stop the many times we give the ball away needlessly, then we are playing very well right now. Loved Ibby coming on as a super sub with his energy against tired legs. More of the same, please. Yeah, there was that element of possession still, and I'd like to think against a better team you might have been punished for some of those mistakes. There's still work to do in that area?
It's just getting that all finesse down, isn't it? It's that making these moves. Like at the first couple of minutes, JB gave the ball away a few times, and I was ready to rip his head off. But then, as the game progressed, he weaved that out within himself. So he went on to prove that he wasn't the player who was in the first 5 minutes. And I think as the season goes on, you'll see that same sort of progression with every player across all parts of the pitch.
Okay. Any of you got your hotels in Lancashire then this week, given that you're going to go to Burnley on Tuesday night, and we're recording this before that result, so we can't talk about that, and then Blackburn. Some hard yards for the Green Army this week, Carl, isn't there?
Oh yeah, the joys of being a Plymouth fan. Many hours coming back on the motorway, 5 a.m, get back to home park. Yeah, it's all worth it though in the end.
Absolutely. I mean, we hope we're not sitting back here talking about 2 defeats. So we wish good luck with it. But we will be back here next week to review both of those Lancashire games, and of course talk about defensive midfielders in the next ranking of our team view. Before we go, do any of you have any recollections of players that have played for yourself and Blackburn, beginning with these acronyms? Go on.
Paul Gallagher,
absolutely, yeah. Played Blackburn the 05-06 season. Yeah.
Barry Hales,
that's a cracking shout. Well done. Yeah. And CS, bit of a harder one, maybe.
Chris, you stole my preloaded answer in my head then. I was there like, as long as I get one, I'll be all right. But
okay, comment below if you can get CS. We won't do. We don't do cliffhangers in here, but we'll give you Craig Short as the other.
Before we go, gents, can we just pay respect to the West Brom fan who sadly passed away at the game on Saturday?
Absolutely, yeah.
To his family, send his condolences.
Yeah, we'll be doing that on the West Brom Terrace Talk version later on as well. Thank you, Carl. Well said. Enjoy the games this week, all of you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching. Do subscribe if you haven't done already, and do comment below your score predictions. And we will gladly see you all back here next week to review it all over again. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good week, and have a good week all.